Let's talk about controversy, headlines and hypocrisy. Scandal that shock and dismay. Keep the wheels spinning, turning no page. Let's talk about controversy, headlines and hypocrisy. Scandals that shock and dismay. Keep the wheels spinning, turning no page. Let's talk about. Ready, get set, y'all. Here we go. Pretty.
All right, hello, everybody. Welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I am your host, John Hansboro. We are live on a special night, Thursday, March 26, 2026. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. We're getting close to the weekend, so y'all be safe, be vigilant out there. I got my sister on to close out the month for Women's Month. No other way to do it than to bring on my sister Aneski, Anna Kamzat. How you doing, sis?
I'm doing well. Like, my thing, once you wake up, that's it. No need to complain about nothing else.
Hey, we on the same page, definitely. So last night I wanted to bring my sister on the show. We was having some technical difficulties. Whenever two powerful entities, more than one or two powerful entities get together, the devil always tries to get involved. I've learned that a long time ago. So he didn't win tonight because we definitely going to have Aneski talk about all of the things that she's got going on. So first, sis, tell us a little bit about yourself for anybody who is new new followers to me, new followers to you. Tell us about yourself a little bit.
I'll try my best. I am first and foremost, I'm a mother of 7. I am author, self-published author, poet, MC, podcast host, director, producer, screenwriter, playwright. I think I covered it. Curator, event curator. Yep. I think I got it all in this time. But yes, that's me.
Definitely. I remember when I first met you, you were I knew that you were passionate about what you do. People who are passionate about what they do and what they love is just all over them. You said that you're a writer, so you got a big book release coming up soon. Tell us about that. I believe that's April the 9th, right?
Yes, April the 9th at there will be a VIP experience from 6 to 7. And please excuse me, I am a little hoarse, but from 6 to 7, and then there is a theatrical monologue from 7 to 10. In between the monologue will be some featured artists showcasing their talents. And so I got to the point I had published my 9th book this year, which was a sequel to my first novella, Poison Ivy. And I had realized it had been, 10 years since I had initially started self-publishing. And I thought through all of that, I published 9 books, and of them are 3 poetry books, which I never had a formal book release for. So with that being said, I decided to go on and do instead of just one book release, per book, I wanted to do a compilation triple book release, and also wanted to give the attendees and my fans and readers experience that comes with just purchasing the book. So those who are aware of how I am when it comes to events and experiences know that I don't I don't like to have things be very normal. I try to think outside the box. And so I just wanted to be able to give something to the audience that they can take away more than just, reading the book. So I wanted them to have a feeling to go with that. So.
Right. I love it. I can't wait for that. I'll definitely be in attendance for that. You also do a podcast, Be More Mindful. Talk to us about that a little bit as well too.
Yes. So be
You're
more
in your
mindful.
like third season, I think, right? Second or third season
Yes,
now. Mhm.
I was to initiate my third season was initially set up to begin this February, but due to me wanting to bring a more impactful podcast, I pushed the season premiere back, but we will definitely be up and running this year. Um, Being More Mindful podcast is an open forum that started as a way to make conversations with artists about mental health and social barriers relatable to the public and also to each other. It was just about creating an atmosphere to have a conversation about things that I felt weren't easily talked about, among people for whatever reason, be it personal or not. Society has us shun away from subjects that I, from my experience, found have found out are very pertinent and very important conversations to
Right.
have when it comes to
Mhm.
speaking on mental health and wellness. So the podcast was created honestly due to my inability to complete continue with therapy sessions of my own after going through an institutionalization and all. And so I felt, I felt like I was not getting the proper productivity out of the standard therapy session. Like I'm tired of telling the bully in the fourth grade story, and it was being at the point that it was not creating any type of impact or change having this standardized traditional therapeutic session. So I create the podcast as it really honestly just as a way to have an innovative therapy session, with people that I felt were qualified to speak, on these things. And the qualifications came more so voluntarily, just through initiating what the podcast itself was about. So that's how that goes. And I'm looking forward to expanding the podcast beyond the city of Baltimore. My premier guest is seeking to be a very good friend. I'm gonna say friend, but it's a family member, honestly, but very, very wise young lady, very educated. Not just through the books and through traditional schooling. She does have some credentials under her name. She's also um from the for the culture, and she's about raising awareness and knowledge and consciousness to another level. And she is outstanding page. I do believe her page is Cosmic Paradox on Instagram, and
Mhm.
am encourage anyone who wants to look deeper into certain thoughts that they may have in reference to, if you want to call them matrix, whatever. But she has a lot of information about self awareness, shadow work. She's able to break down uh television shows and movies in a way that help us see beyond the entertainment side, and we get the lessons that we are supposed to really get from them, because it's all the same as they're telling parables and such when you're dealing with these things. But again, yes, Be More Mindful podcast is looking to come back better, more impactful, expanded, beyond what it has done. And so I'm trying to stick to the logo that I have for Full Authors Media Network, which is a tree. And I want my audience to grow, and not only, grow as in numbers, but grow with me, grow and
Right.
experience and go on this journey. So that's where we're at with that.
What inspired you growing up, sis, to be so passionate about the arts? Like, who was it? Was it an artist or anybody that you saw growing up that inspired you to be doing what you're doing right now?
No, it wasn't an artist that I saw. To put, I'm not ashamed of my age, transparent. I was born in 81. And so, I grew up in a time where there was only one TV in the living room, and the family shared that. And so if you wanted to entertain yourself, you had the choice of going outside if your family, if the daylight allowed, or you read a book. And so I started reading at an early age. I was reading before I even attended school in pre-K. I was already reading. So by the time I got to grade level education of being in like first and second grade, and I was already into chapter books, and I was actually beyond the fantasy level of reading. I was very curious. So where everyone was reading, fantasy and fiction, I was reading nonfiction and encyclopedias, and so the only thing fictional that caught my attention was poetry. So outside of poetry, I was reading about civil rights and the history of the country, and the history of laws, and reading about every ape or mammal, or all the countries, and so that mix just gave me is more so. I don't know if it's a passion for art or a passion for life. I
Mm,
it's kind of hard to,
damn.
really, it's such a thin line for me.
Right. Me
Because
too. I feel you on that.
you know,
Definitely.
a- just
Hmm.
being, that created that, ability to narrate and give life art, and vice versa, give art life,
Hmm.
and so
Hmm.
that's where it started from. My first poem I wrote in first grade. I still remember that poem to this day, and from there I won because it was a writing contest, and it was the first contest I won. Was a poetry book by Langston Hughes. And so that began, really, if you want to say, the journey, as far as who would have set the tone. I would honestly say it was Langston Hughes. And then from there, my next writing contest I won was William Shakespeare, a book of his best playwrights. So I was in probably like fourth grade, and I fell in love with that. Fell in love with poetry and Shakespeare, which, again, thin line is not too much of a difference between that. And that's where
Right.
my love for theater and acting came in at. So yeah, and I didn't get to watch TV a lot, but then when we did watch things, it was family orientated shows like musicals and Disney movies, and things that set that tone for there to be an array of art, involved in this entertainment. So yeah, that's really kind of where it comes from, the history on that.
I know that you're an advocate of mental health. I am myself. I'm uh, I'm very sympathetic because I've went through things myself. Being a man who is was brought up, because I was born in '75. So being a man who was brought up in a house with a father who was a Marine, we didn't do a bunch of crying and all of that. Me and my
Mhm.
brother, we didn't do none of that. You know what I mean? But over the year, I mean, there was a lot of love in my house and things like that as well too. But over the years, as I got older and grew into a man, I learned how to deal with things, um, especially with my feelings, because I didn't do that growing up. It was just this way or no way. There was no therapy. There was no,
Mm.
talking about my feelings and all of that. We just wasn't on that growing up. And now as a man at 50 years old, I see the importance of that. And that's even helped me in some of the things that I've dealt with in life. Um, how much, and I put that in, what I say that to say, I put a lot of my art and things into my life and art, like intertwined when I write. It's a lot of things that comes out that I deal with. I wrote a poem, "Who the fuck you talking to?" All because of a conversation on the phone with a person that day who may have just been having a bad day as a receptionist, but they were just totally ignorant towards me for some reason.
Mm.
How much of life and art do you intertwine where it what where by you diving into your art, hosting and writing and doing what you do helps you in your day-to-day life?
Wow. That's a good question. For me, like I say, I'm the type of person they don't separate. I often tell people, I have to come down to earth because a lot of times I'm in space, so to speak, figuratively speaking. I'm riding down the street and I'm, seeing things that are writing poems just as I'm driving. They're poetic narratives that come to mind, and it doesn't take much for me if I'm stationary to, jot just a short stanza or two about anything in life. I probably collect about, you know, 3 to 4 stories a day in life. I often joke with my
Mhm.
friends. I say I have a bad habit of seeing things and creating stories about a person's life as and talk about it and speak on it as if it's really true. And
Mhm.
it's just, I could just look and say, look at that person. They probably have this, that, and the third going on in life, and look at them and they feel like this and that. And for me, as I'm speaking, I'm narrating, a life that I just imagine off of just seeing, and taking what I observe. So I would honestly say, to answer your question, my life has everything to do with, you know, being intertwined in my artwork. I don't think I would have much to write about if I did not write about, my life. And I don't think I would be able to um, touch people, if I did not talk about my life, because how well can you speak about something that you don't know about? So if you know about something and you speak true to it, you tend to get a lot of relatable, you, you know, uh, uh, reciprocated feelings because people understand that. I think your mic's muted.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, I was talking to my
Oh, you
daughter at
good?
the same time. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought you was good. Yeah, but yeah. So again, I think my life has everything to do, with my art.
Right.
It's intertwined in every aspect of it.
Same here. I do the same thing. It's I'm a true believer, Aneski, that if I'm not, I can't go a whole week without doing some type of creativity in what I love, because I feel like if I don't, then I'm slowly chipping away of just not existing. You know what I mean? You're just not in a good space. Put it that to me. I gotta be creative at some point, at least a couple times a week. And if I'm not, then I notice that I start to feel a certain way. I may be a little depressed or something like that. And I'm like,
Mhm.
damn, what is really going on? I got everything I need, and it's all because I'm not feeding that
Right.
um, creative bug that's there. I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? You host a lot, like, sis, you always doing something. You've been doing a lot. I know this summer is going to be very busy for you. For real. I know this
Hopefully.
summer is going to be really, yeah, I know this summer. Oh, it is. I'm telling you, I know this summer is going to be really busy for you. You always doing something. You remind me of a lot of, when I was coming up, there were a few women in my life that got, like, I remember my next door neighbor got me a job when I was like 12 to 14. Me and my brother, my first like summer job, and she was always doing things in the community. And you remind me of that type of you have that type of energy. You care about the community. You're always doing stuff in the community. You care about the babies. You care about the children out here. Um, your publishing company, for authors, your hosting, like everything that you do. How do you? I know I've asked you this before, but I got a two-part question. How do you keep up with doing it? And
Mm.
then another question is, how do you stay being not being like some of us sometimes when we're not doing what we think we should be doing a lot of, we fall into a rut, we get a little depressed. You know what I mean? So how do you keep from doing all of that and just keeping yourself positive and fulfilling everything that you're doing?
That's a good question too, bro. Because I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I do double book. I have a million calendars. I take advantage of the technology that's used. Siri's a good assistant. Um, yeah, I write as much as I can down. Uh, I I'm big on text messages and emails. So to say I don't know, I juggle, it's not easy, but because of the passion, the drive is there. And I agree. When I'm not doing something, I get depressed, I get sick, I get down. I feel like I'm not fulfilling my purpose. And I think that comes, the drive to manage and be able to fulfill everything on my plate is because I wholeheartedly believe with 1000% of everything in me that I am walking in my true divine purpose. And so that belief, standing on that faith and having the hope that I am moving for divine purposes, that's how it gets done. Because if something doesn't get done, then I'm okay with saying, then that was the will of God, and it was not meant, to be accomplished. So that's how I get it done, one day at a time, standing on every promise that I could think of. One promise that I stand on real heavy is all things work for good for those that love God and are called according to the word. When I go to do things, if it don't work out the way I planned it, and if it doesn't feel exactly like I wanted to feel, I remind myself it is still good. It is still good. So that's how I do it. Just I guess having faith in myself is how I manage to balance those things, knowing that God will give me the strength to do that. That's been given. Yeah.
Absolutely. So listen, I think we may have a little bit of time for. I want you to share a poem, but I
Sure.
also want you to talk about your upcoming event. You wanted to do unfortunately, the phone lines won't be up tonight. The Lady J is at an event, but next week I'll have the cast of Between Us. I'll be interviewing, and anyone that calls in with any answers to any Aneski's questions about any of her books, I think she's giving out a free ticket to her event. So talk to us about that, sis.
Sure. Yes. So again, on April the 9th, I will be doing a triple book release with a full theatrical monologue, a 4-act monologue, with incorporated poems from all three of the books that I am releasing. And also there will be uh exclusive VIP experience between the hours of 6 and 7 that I would love to extend a free ticket to a caller for supporting and being tuned into not just Spitfire Poetry Shutdown, but also Lady J Media and What Up Baltimore, who has been a pillar in the media community for quite some time now. And so, yeah, the VIP experience comes with a swag bag that includes all three books. It also comes with the playbill and some other merchandise, and it also comes with the meal, and it comes with a professional photography with myself, and it comes with a live podcast experience. So I will be doing a live podcast within an hour, and the VIP attendees will be there to witness it live. So again, I'm going to probably most likely drop a question with John, something real easy. I just need you guys to tune in next week when the phone lines are up. And whenever John says call in, and I promise you, you will have a VIP ticket to April the 9th. And I cannot wait for the winner. I would love to see you there.
And where are you going to be April the 9th, sis, for that event?
Yes, April the 9th will be at C Rose's Event Center, a home away from home for me at 4000 Coolidge Avenue. And again, for VIP attendees, the doors will open at 6. For general admission, the doors will open at 7. So again, I'm looking forward. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, and they are also available in my bio for Instagram. My name Aneski Anna Kimset, just as it's spelled on the screen, all lowercase and no spaces. So follow me and tap into all of the events I'm having.
All right, sis. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Share one of your favorite poems, whatever you're feeling right now, for us before we go.
I got you. My life is an unfinished living artwork, poetically expressing pain, darkness, truths, purposed in my youth. I am Basquiat with a pen, wielding words to shame men, to expose our sins, voices in my head, vibrating high frequencies absorbed by my dreads. I too ran away from home. City streets where I've roamed, made for stories later told. Long nights on park benches, cold nights in vacant houses, sheltered me from the harsh weather, but not the harsh world. Most nights I'd weep, not because I was alone, but because my many personalities clashed with who I was born to be. And in reality, those who look at others like all hope is lost, I've learned what they value is worthless, and what is really worth value will never be purchased, although it does cost. Forever will my heart belong to those who accept my failures of a creator who bears a heavy cross. I'm an emotional roller coaster ride, passionately described as fine tuning my art, creating poetry with every breath, rhythmic cadences of my heart. Basquiat painted with brushes. I come to paint with words. My stanzas are illustrations like a colorful canto once heard. Each pen stroke is a testimony of my fiery existence in this cold world. And one day the world will pay tribute to the beauty in my art. I am Basquiat. I'm a poem on an unfinished canvas, painted with pain, darkness, and truth, exposing sins with my pen, purposed in my youth.
I love it, sis. I love that's new.
Yeah, no, it's in one of the books, so I can't really say it's new, but yeah. Yeah, bro.
Oh,
That will be performed. That will definitely be part of the monologue. So yeah. Those who want, come on out, hear that and some more. Total 12
I
poems.
love it, sis.
You know,
I love it. You know, it's crazy because our life is an unfinished poem.
yes.
Our life is an unfinished poem, and wow, man, you got my juices going now. Our life is definitely an unfinished. Is an unfinished. I'm telling you, man. See, this is why I preach about seriously about, and I don't want to offend any friends or any family members out there, but I got to be honest. This is why I'm so adamant about surrounding yourself with people who you got a lot of things in common with,
Yes.
who are like-minded. Sometimes
Yes.
you need that energy just to keep going from day to
Yes.
day. It's
Yes.
that serious out here. If you're
Yes.
if you're a person who constantly receives everybody's junk. Everybody calls you with their issues, their problems. You're that person that everyone likes to talk to, and that's fine. But we all have a breaking point where we have things that we need to um just do for ourselves and just be a little selfish, just a little bit, you know what I'm saying, just to be able to make your life, our lives better so we can keep going because it's not easy out here. We all deal with so many different things in life. And just being around you, my sister Shamiz, there's brothers out here that I talk to every now and then, my own brother, blood brother, but a lot of poets. I try to go to a lot of events as much as I can, when a lot of my favorite poets are out there, because that shit really feeds my
Yeah.
soul. It really
Yes.
does something to help me to keep going, or to remind me, like you said earlier, I'm in my purpose. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I've never really, and until as of late, felt like I've been in my purpose until
Mm-hmm.
the last maybe 5 to 10 years. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? When I jumped
Mm-hmm.
into poetry, and having conversations with people who tell me what I've done for them, because I'm telling them what they done
Yes.
for me. They like, nah, bro. I appreciate what you do, and this thing. So
Yes.
it goes both ways. So I just want to thank you, Aneski, seriously, for your passion, sis, for your drive, for your continuous dedication, because I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. We all deal with so much, but the way that you maneuver and do what you do with a smile on your face is just, it's beautiful to me. So thank you for everything that you do. Tell us how we can keep up with you and follow you from now on, sis.
Sure, yes. Again, you can follow me on Instagram at Aneski Anna Kimset. All one word, ANESKIANAKEMSIT. Just like on the screen, all lowercase, no spaces. Also on Facebook under my government name, Thomasina Redmond. Thomasina is spelled Thomasina. Redmond is Redmond. And yeah, that's it. That's how I'm not on TikTok and all that yet, guys. Trying to balance these two. But hopefully I'll be on TikTok soon. But follow me. If you see me in the street, say hi. Check me out.
Absolutely. I also want to give a shout out and a happy belated birthday to Mozart. Um, I don't want to mess up her whole real government name, but Mozart is a young lady, a friend, a niece that I met through Aneski. Shout out to Mozart and Ashley T. Darling. But happy
Yes.
birthday to Mozart. Her birthday was yesterday. And this is what I'm saying, man. Like, I've watched how people have been inspired by what you do, by what Shamiz does. And those two are two young ladies who I know you guys have impacted. You know what I mean? Honestly. So, like I said, thank you. Also, I want to give a shout out to the cast of I Am Woke when I met you all. Shamiz, you, my
Oh my
brother
God.
Vic, Gio, Marco,
Yeah.
Jasmine, Ashley,
Yeah.
Shamzadu, um,
Yes.
uh,
God.
Mozart, like it's so many different people. And I
Yes.
try to stay in touch with a lot of different people. I'm serious. That's in the arts because it keeps me fueled. It keeps me going. So I want to thank everybody who watches me, who tunes into my show. You guys are my lifeline. I'm telling you. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing some of the things that I do, because there are times where I don't want to do this. There are times where I
Right.
don't even want to come on the podcast. I've sent Lady
Me
J
too.
links, messages in the past, like I'm just not feeling it today. I'm being transparent. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not feeling it today. I don't want to do it. There's a time where I didn't want to do a show, and I had you and I had Shamice on the show, and it changed my whole outlook. It helped me out. Shout out to my brother, Takeover. Um,
Yes. Take
Ashanti
over.
Sam, like so many different people have helped and
Yes.
inspired me to keep going. Also, even with my health, I walk every day, I juice now. So thank
Yes.
you all for what you do. Thank you, sis, for what you do. You are awesome. Continue to do what you do. Let us know everything that you're doing. This is not the last time you be on the show. You're
Yes.
always welcome on here.
Yes.
Um, but follow Aneska, y'all, because she's always got a bunch of events going on. Check her out April the 9th for her triple book release. I know that is going to be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for us to come and hear her work. And also, all of her events, y'all, are good to come and network as well. There's always a lot of networking going on at her events. I notice when I do go. So, before we go, talk to us about your next open mic. Shout out to Vaughn over at Sip and Herb. Talk to us about your next open
Yes,
mic.
yes. So on the first Wednesday of every month, I have a open mic that is geared towards poetry and karaoke. It's called Wine and Rhyme Wednesdays, complimentary wine. It is located at 5218 Park Heights Avenue. And yeah, April the 1st is the next month. So guys, come through. We have a feature poet. Her name is Linnea Moore Monroe. Monroe. I'm sorry, Lene Monroe, and she's a great poet. I've been following her. She does a lot too. So you guys get on my page. Like John said, community. Network. This is what it's about for me. So all of it is all in one. It all works in tandem. So yeah, check it out. Check it out.
Absolutely. Shout out to my sister, our sister Shamice Lady Jacobs, for tuning in. Appreciate you. Love you, sis. I'll
Yeah.
talk to you soon. That's my ride or die right there. I appreciate
Yes.
her so much. Sis, thank you again for coming on. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Anything you want to say to the people before you go?
Uh, as usual, you can do anything you put your mind to. That's all. That's all. Yeah.
Absolutely. Guys, if you
Thank
want to
you,
be
bro, for
blessed,
having
you
me on.
must. Yep. If you want to be
That's
blessed, guys,
same.
you must bless somebody else. Everyone have a
That's
wonderful
right.
night. Sis, I love you. I'll talk to you and see you
Love
soon.
you
All right.
too,
You be
bro.
safe out
See
here.
you soon. Yes.
All right. All right. Y'all have a good night. Thank you again, Lady J, for
Hmm.
this. This is a special episode. Thank you all
Yes.
for
Thank you, Lady
watching. Be
J.
safe
Appreciate.
and be vigilant. Love you, sis. I'll see you soon. All right. Awesome. Okay.